Something absolutely incredible happened in the world of energy back in 2025. It was the year that a huge shift, one that experts had been talking about for years, finally actually happened. The entire story of how we power our planet changed, and honestly, it happened way faster than almost anyone saw coming. So let's dive in and break down exactly how this historic moment went down and what it really means for all of us. So here's the fundamental challenge, right? Our world needs more and more electricity every single year. You've got more people, more EVs hitting the road, more massive data centers, more AI. It all needs more power. And for the longest time, meeting that new demand always meant one thing: burning more fossil fuels. But in 2025, that entire script got thrown out the window.
For the first time ever, as global electricity demand kept on climbing, that old predictable equation was just broken. The world needed more power, and it got it, but not from the usual suspects. Yep, 100%. Every single bit of new electricity demand across the entire globe was met by clean electricity. Fossil fuel generation, it didn't just stand still, it actually dipped by a tiny bit, about 0.2%. This wasn't just a small step forward, it was a massive leap, a total game changer.
So what are we really looking at here? Well, experts are calling 2025 a tipping point for the whole global power system. But what does that actually mean?
A tipping point isn't just, a good year. It's that moment when the old rules just don't apply anymore. It's when a new technology becomes so powerful, so dominant in both its cost and its scale that the entire system has no choice but to start changing around it. And in 2025, that new dominant technology made itself crystal clear.
And that brings us to the hero of this whole story. Because this incredible transformation wasn't a balanced team effort. Nope. One single technology did pretty much all of the heavy lifting. We are talking, of course, about solar power. The numbers here are just staggering. Just look at this. Of all the brand new electricity the world needed in 2025, solar, all by itself, provided 75% of it. 3/4 of all new demand was met by the sun. Wind and a few other clean sources picked up the rest, leaving literally nothing for fossil fuels. And look, 2025 didn't just come out of nowhere. It was the peak of a trend that's been building for a decade. Since 2015, solar and wind have been the two biggest sources of new electricity, growing like crazy. 8 times for solar, 3 times for wind. They've totally blown past the growth of every other source combined.
So, what's behind this insane growth? Well, it really just boils down to simple economics. In 2025, the cost to build and run a new solar farm was about 4.4 cents per kilowatt hour. A new fossil fuel plant? 10 cents. We're past the point where solar is just the clean option. It is now, by a long shot, the cheap option.
I mean, the speed of this price drop is one of the most incredible technology stories, period. Since 2010, the cost of solar panels has crashed by 90%. Just think about that, a 90% discount in 15 years. And it's not over. By 2030, it's expected to be about a third cheaper than even fossil fuels.
Now, you can't tell this story without talking about China. Their huge investments in making and installing solar have been the main engine driving this whole global trend. In fact, in 2024, China put up more solar and wind than every other country in the world combined. They're just supercharging this whole transition. But all this success actually creates a brand new set of problems. As we solve the issue of generating clean power, we run straight into the next big challenge, the grid itself. You know what they say? With great power comes, well, new problems. And experts like Dr. Hassan Reza are really pointing this out. It's one thing to have cheap, abundant solar power. It's a completely different thing to actually get that power from the panels to our homes and businesses when we need it. Our electric grids, they just weren't built for a world like this. So what this means is that our global energy to-do list has totally changed. The main focus isn't just build more solar panels anymore. Now it's about upgrading our ancient grids, building massive amounts of battery storage, and creating policies that can actually support this new reality, all while handling a huge surge in demand from things like EVs and AI. Okay, so how do we actually do all that? Well, the good news is this isn't some unsolvable mystery. We have a pretty clear playbook for building the grid we need for this new solar age. It's not easy, but we know what to do. So let's walk through it. All right, here's the 5-point plan. First up, deploy storage. We need batteries and lots of them to save that daytime solar power for nighttime. Second, build smart grids. Our grid is like a one-way street. We need a modern, two-way highway for power. Third, strengthen policy. We need clear, stable government policies so companies feel confident investing for the long term. Fourth, diversify renewables. Solar is the star, for sure, but we need a good supporting cast, especially wind power. And finally, number 5, foster collaboration. No one country has all the answers. We have to share technology and work together on this.
And really, that first point, storage, is the key to this whole thing. The goal is to make daytime solar into anytime solar. And just like with solar panels, battery costs have absolutely crashed, falling 89% since 2010. This is what unlocks solar's true potential, turning it from an on-again, off-again source into reliable 24/7 power. So after all of this, what's the big takeaway? The most important thing to get is that this isn't a forecast. It's not a prediction of something that might happen someday. The shift has already happened. We are living in the solar age, right now.
When you see a picture like this, it's not some artist's rendering of a far-off future. It's a snapshot of today. The hardware of our new energy system is being built and bolted to the ground as we speak, all over the world.
This chart really tells the whole story of 2025 in one picture. Demand for electricity goes up, fossil fuel generation actually goes down, and clean power just steps in and handles 100% of that new growth. The transition is literally happening right in front of us.
You know, for decades, we had this big debate about the best way to power the world. Well, looking at the hard data from 2025, that debate is basically over. The economics don't lie. The fastest, the cheapest, and the most secure way to power our society from here on out is with renewables. And that's really where we are now. The arguments about technology and cost are settled. The solar age has begun. So the only real question left is about our will to act. It's not about if we can do this anymore. It's about how quickly we choose to build the clean energy future that's already here.